Hello, welcome to another episode of Pump the Brakes alongside Ham. I am Eric. We are talking NFL football this week. It is official. Week 1 is here. Games start tomorrow. How fucking exciting.
It's very exciting.
Okay.
Finally here. I mean, it'll be gone. It's just so hard for me to rationalize and get excited because it's going to be gone in a blink. It'll be February 10th or whatever before you can even breathe. And it's just every year. And the day after the Super Bowl is the worst day of my life. I get excited, and here we are. So I can't wait. There's nothing like the National Football League. Nobody cares about baseball. Nobody cares about basketball. Nobody cares about hockey. People care about the National Football League. Although Red October, I'm for Red October. I'm for Red October. I just want that on the record.
You're back on the wagon then because you were off for a little bit because I thought I was getting a little cocky.
I was worried about
big win last night. They're playing right now up 3-2.
Okay, it's a Kyle Schwarber miracle game, but they did win last night.
Oh yeah. Castellanos got hurt. Harper got pulled today. He's hurt. Bohm's not playing. I'm not loving where this is going. We're getting a little too close for us to happen. Anyway,
the wheel breaks. It's every time.
Well, I'm not going to say I'm shocked, but
I'm not either.
Let's start with LSU. I know this is supposed to be a football pod, but we're obviously going to talk about the Tigers and I don't know if it's a heartbreaking loss against USC, but they've lost 5 openers in a row, and I don't even know what to think about it. Yeah, there you go. Okay. This is a family podcast, I think.
Oh, sorry.
But
take self-mutilation for off the pod.
What are your thoughts on the game? Because I don't think they played a bad game. Like, the defense was good. Nussmeier looked good. I mean, it's not ideal, but they didn't look like shit.
The defense was good-ish. I mean, they still gave up almost 500 yards, and I keep hearing about the defense was good. It's better than last year. Well, buddy, they could have trotted out 11 wet blankets and better than last year. Last year was so fucking bad. Like, miss me with, it's better than last year. Like, that's the bar? Well, yeah, sure, it was better than last year. But last year was historically bad. I'm with you. Fair. Look, I took a little time to debrief, whatever you want to call it, decompress. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I do think there's some limitations for this team. But with the playoff being – even if the playoff wasn't expanded, like, everything this team wants is still right in front of them, right? I mean, like, still win the Southeastern Conference. You win the Southeastern Conference, you make the playoff. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen, but it certainly could. So that just makes, what I thought and what all the pundits thought was the biggest game of the year, October 12th, Ole Miss. That's a huge game. LSU should be 4-1 entering that game. Ole Miss is going to be undefeated, probably top 6, 7, 5, whatever. So everything's still right there in front of them. I mean, it's not like anything's changed. Does it suck losing to USC? Sure, but honestly, LSU should have won the game. It was 17-13 in the fourth quarter. You got 2 stops and did nothing each time you got the ball back. So that was I think where the frustration came into play.
Yeah, I don't know what the exact stat was that I read on Twitter, but you're inside the red zone like 4 times and you come away with 6 points. Like, that's you can't.
Yeah, well, no, I think that stat was misconstrued. Brian Kelly actually said that, and he was wrong. They were inside the red zone 4 times.
Oh boy, you keep cutting in and out.
We're back. We had lost feed. We're back.
Okay, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
You said Brian Kelly said.
Brian Kelly did say that he was wrong. I think the Aaron Anderson touchdown pass came from the 13-yard line. He must have missed that. I don't know what happened, but I don't know. It's just not as bad as I thought it was. I am very concerned about the run blocking of this offensive line, which is the line's supposed to be a strength of the team, period. But
literally.
Yeah, well, for one, they don't have any dynamic backs. That hurts. But I don't know if it's so much the line. When I went back and kind of read about the game and watched some of the highlights of the guys that really break this stuff down, Our tight ends just can't block. DeCorian Pimpton got absolutely abused on 3rd and 1 twice, where he literally got buckled back over. And the line can only do what the line can do. It's 5 guys. If they send 6, 7, 8, stack the box, somebody else got to make a block. So still no excuse for not getting to 3rd and 1, which we get a 45-hour podcast on why on 3rd and 1 we line up in the shotgun and snap it 5 yards backwards. But I'll save you that
time. I feel like if you do if you take a little bit of each podcast and put it, we could do that because we say it every football game, every football 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. Why are we in shotgun?
Yeah.
What do you think of Nuss? I thought he looked pretty damn good.
I thought he looked good,
especially in the first half.
Yeah, I thought he looked good. That I don't want to say they took the brakes off second half. I think that was a reactionary thing that a lot of people thought. Like they were still taking deep shots down the field. They threw a deep ball to Trey'Dez Green that USC just got some pressure and Nuss couldn't make the throw. But I thought he looked good. Now Kyron Lacy not getting but 1 target in the second half is just inexcusable from the offensive staff. Just completely mismanaged that. But all in all, I don't think it's as bad as I thought it was. I still think this is like a 9-win team. LSU's, man, people just have to remember how bad Ed Orgeron left this program in. And LSU, people don't realize this either, kind of got a late start to their NIL collective, the Bayou tradition. LSU wasn't on the forefront of that like a Miami or a Tennessee or I don't know, in Arkansas. Arkansas's NIL is incredible. We just weren't on the forefront of that. And it's like we're playing catch up. So next year's class, top 3 class right now with the chance to be even better. So there's just no point to me in changing coaches. Like, what are we trying to accomplish? Brian Kelly is a good coach. He's a good football coach. He's been successful everywhere he's been. And all we're going to do by changing coaches now is just set ourselves back even further. Like, well, no, that's not even.
Yeah, no, I agree. At least see it through.
Right. Now, if I get these classes. I always said, this. I said, year 3, I'd like to see a step forward. Yeah. Right. I want to see. Hell, if we go 10-2, like he's been winning 10 games, we'll probably make the playoff. But I'd like to see a step forward. But like year 4, year 5 is where we need to be competing. And it's hard to compare to past coaches from different programs. Like you say, oh, well, Saban did it faster and all. It's just such a different world with NIL now. Like it's just completely different.
It's a different animal now.
It's a whole different thing. Yeah, it's not anything like it used to be. So there is no comparison for me to past generations of coaches or time frames or anything like that.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to affect our outlook on like the recruiting classes because you said like they're top 3 now. Yeah, well, in 2 years that might not mean fucking shit.
Yeah,
and
because of the portal and yeah.
They're leaving, they're bringing people in. Like everything is different now. I don't like it.
To be honest, it's definitely waned my interest in college football. Like, there's no tradition, there's no honor. It's like you don't like somewhere. Hell, TJ Finley has transferred 47 times. Like, I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I don't have a problem with the NIL. I think it's more the portal I have a problem with. Like NIL, fuck it. Let them make as much money as they want.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's fair. I probably should have worded it that way.
Yeah, you stick to
because yes, I agree. Portal,
which I think eventually will happen, right? I don't think that these big money guys. By the way, they didn't get rich by just throwing money down the drain. They're eventually going to say, "Hey, look, we're going to give you X, but you're here for X amount of years. Like you're not going anywhere.
It's going to be a contract.
It's going to be a contract, right? Which there goes amateur sports. Like, what are we doing? I mean." So this is not originally how NIL was supposed to be intended, right? This was so you could sell your autograph and make money, sell your jersey and make money off of your likeness, not fucking Bob's car dealership as an A&M booster and he's going to give you $1 million. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So that's
that's where we are now with the sport, and it kind of sucks.
It kind of sucks.
All right, let's dive in. We have a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game where the Chiefs beat the Ravens 17-10. The Chiefs are now hosting the Ravens. They are a 3-point favorite. The over-under, last I saw, which was about an hour ago, 47.5. Hollywood Brown is already pretty much ruled out. I don't know if he's technically officially been ruled out, but he's not playing.
He's not playing.
Rashid Rice, not suspended. Xavier Worthy's first game in the league. This is as good of an offense as we've seen for Patrick Mahomes in about 3 years. The Ravens, Derrick Henry's debut. That's going to be exciting. And I did some looking. This is one of the worst offensive lines in football for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh yeah, it's 100%, and their offensive line coach just died 2 weeks ago. So,
right, this is catastrophic.
Catastrophic for a team who theoretically would want to run the ball, but we'll talk about that in a second too. So,
yeah. Initial thoughts on this game, because
I think. Go ahead. What do you think?
No, you go ahead first. I asked you a question.
I can't make heads or tails of this one. I don't have a side or anything on the total. Theoretically, the Ravens should want to go like 12 personnel and run the ball down the throat of the Chiefs to keep Mahomes off the field. Ravens defense actually handled the Chiefs pretty well last year. But I was doing some listening and some reading on this game.
Yep.
I was looking at the box score. You know how many design runs the Ravens had in that game last year? 6.
I do, and I have this written down. 6 running back carries.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like, they threw it 39 times or something, 37, some crazy number.
Yeah,
it was the lowest amount of design runs I think he had ever had in his play calling career. So, in theory, the strength of the Chiefs. Why is this doing this? The strength of the Chiefs' defense is their pass rush, and they actually have pretty good secondary. I mean, you got good players. You're talking about Chris Jones, so you want to line up and kind of run the ball, right? Use your line, use your 12 personnel, use Derrick Henry. I didn't know the Ravens' offensive line was this bad until I started reading about it. I didn't know their offensive line coach just died 2 weeks ago. I can't make heads or tails of the game, because if all that's true, I don't understand why the Chiefs are only -3. But yeah, theoretically, this should be Mahomes.
It kind of seems fishy.
Yes. Because this should be Mahomes' best weapons in forever. And by the way, it's -3. Chiefs are at home, so Vegas is telling you neutral field. It's a toss-up. So yeah, I can't make heads or tails this one. I've got a much stronger bet on the next one. I can't make heads or tails this one.
So the game last year where they had 6 running back carries, 3 for Justice Hill, 3 for Gus Edwards. They ran the ball twice with Zay Flowers. Like, fucking stupid. If you're getting blown out and you're down by 30, I get it. They lost by 7. Like, this was a game, all game. Like, why are you not running the ball?
If I'd have told you, hey, the Ravens and the Chiefs played and the score was 17-10, you'd have said, oh, the Ravens won. Like, there's that should play right into the Ravens' hand.
Yeah.
The Chiefs want to score 30, 40, whatever that
100%.
Like, that game scripted out how the Ravens should have wanted it to, and it's like they went brain dead. Like, they just threw the ball every play. It didn't make any sense.
Literally.
So, yeah,
obviously bringing in Derrick Henry, in theory, that should change. You should pound the rock. But these offensive line concerns are no joke. And again, I didn't realize how bad they were until, a couple of days ago when I started doing the prep for this.
Yeah.
I was very high on Derrick Henry coming in. I don't want to make this like a fantasy thing, but I don't love him nearly as much as I did 48 hours ago.
Yeah, the same here. I mean, their ownership has mentioned how bad the line is. Their coaching has mentioned how bad the line. Like, when that's happening, they're probably pretty bad. So, how do you negate that, right?
That's a fucking problem.
Theoretically, you would want to negate that by, in my opinion, and this is going to sound stupid, but by running the ball. Because if you're going to go back there and pass, maybe it's a little different from Lamar, with Lamar. But, I mean, I don't want to have to drop back and have Chris Jones coming down my throat, 30 times a game. Or I can just maybe scheme him out.
Boy, you should have used different words there, bud.
Well, yeah. I hope that doesn't get clipped. Thank God we only have 15. I could have said running down my throat, running up the pipe.
Yeah. Oh, buddy, you could use a lot of different.
I don't want Chris Jones coming down my throat anyway, no matter what. So,
buddy, we're gonna have that in the Rolodex here.
No coming down my throat from anybody.
This is, again, we've said this is probably the best Chiefs roster they've had since the Tyreek Hill thing. The fact that this line is only 3 is
I don't.
It doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. I really don't because, and by the way, I know we mentioned Hollywood Brown. I'm very high on Hollywood Brown this year. Very high. Like, I started reading about. I kind of got into this a few nights ago about.
Dude, he's good.
He's very good. He's a lot better than people just think he's a burner, and he's really not. And he's got some very, very similar. I'll say how I put this. Some very similar, and I'm not saying this is the guy he fucking is. Just for everybody out there, he's got some very similar statistic traits to Tyreek Hill. Kind of about the depth of their routes and how they have progressed over the years. Right, they went from just being burners to being able to run a significant route tree. He's a good football player, and I worry. I didn't realize, because I guess the last 3 or 4 years we've really been blessed with some really good rookie receivers, and that's kind of distracted from the ones that had like a JSN season, right? Not great, not bad, just kind of mediocre. JSN kind of had a decent first year, but then when you get distracted,
that's a great year for a rookie.
Right. When you get distracted by Jefferson and OBJ, Jamar Chase, whatever. So I don't have as much faith in like this Xavier Worthy stuff as a lot of people do. I'm not personally very high on Rashee Rice. I think Hollywood Brown's a big loss on him. They paid him pretty much a 1-year prove-it deal, and I thought he was going to be like a top 40-ish, top 30-ish receiver. So we'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. Hopefully he'll be back in the coming weeks.
I'm a big Rice fan. Like what he did in the playoffs, like the trust that Mahomes and the team had in him, like as a rookie. I don't want to say the Chiefs should blow him out, but I feel like the Chiefs should blow him out.
I mean, I feel that way too.
If this line was 6.5, I would be way more interested in it than 3, if that makes any fucking sense.
No, it makes perfect sense to me. I don't get it at all. I mean, if you're telling me the Ravens that line is that bad, offensive line, like the last place I'd want to go is Arrowhead, where it's going to be fucking like beating a fucking drum inside of your helmet.
Right.
So, yeah, I can't make heads or tails of it. And a guy very much respecting this industry kind of echoed the same thing. He took a pass on the game, and I agree. It's just a pass. Just sit back Thursday night, enjoy it. Drink a water.
Enjoy the game.
Just enjoy the game.
Yeah, well, I got me a green tea here.
What a treat. Respect your body. Take care of your body.
The
next game I've got a very, very strong opinion on as far as a bet goes.
All right, well, hold on. We're not there. We're not there yet. Right. Did you look at any of the props?
No, I did not. I'm not.
Mahomes passing props is 258.5. Seems very low, but he only had 241 in the playoff game. Lamar is 217.5. I believe he was at 272 in the last matchup in the championship game.
That Mahomes number seems low.
I feel like if
the weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels low.
That does. I mean, that seems. If you give me 260 for Mahomes and every 17, I'm going to bet it every time.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's an.
And I'll probably go 11-5.
Yeah, I feel like you ought to.
But again, he only had 241 in the playoff game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cold. There's a whole lot of different factors in that, right? But you could say same coach, Andy Reid, same game plan. So. Yeah, this game is kind of like this is just a big blur to me. I don't know. I've got
Lamar's rushing total is 48.5, Pacheco 61.5, Henry 65.5. I don't love any of them.
Good Lord. I think I'd take the under on Henry. That seems crazy. Just a complete transparency. I am very down on Derrick Henry this year. And it has nothing to do with the line. It has nothing to do with anything.
I'm way more down on him now.
The guy's had a bazillion carries the last 3 years, 4 years, however long it's been. Like, there's a certain shelf life for that and being elite as a running back.
Yeah, no, you're right. Travis Kelce, 58.5 receiving yards. Rice, 60.5. Worthy, 44.5.
That Travis
Mark
Kelce,
Andrews, 46.5. I like that.
Travis Kelce number seems really low.
Yeah, and obviously the first touchdown, tight end in primetime, baby.
Oh, yeah, that's your specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I would go with I think Kelsey's probably my favorite of all those you read. I mean, You're trying to ease in
58.5.
Worthy. Yeah, you're trying to ease in Worthy. Brown's out. They did pick up P. Ryan, which is going to hurt you a little bit on third down. But, I mean, God, Kelsey's like Mahomes is Charlie Brown fucking dirt pin safety blanket. Like, that's the guy. That could be fucking 3 catches for him.
It doesn't make any,
the numbers don't
make any sense how he's wide open.
Every time. Every time he's wide open.
It is it is so frustrating.
He's wide open, and it's like he's not fast. Maybe he's just big. He's a matchup nightmare. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. Like when Tyreek's there, that makes sense. Now when it's Mecole Hardman on the sides, like you got to figure it out. Fucking cover Travis Kelce.
You should be able to like bracket him with a corner and a safety, and just let a linebacker go cover Mecole Hardman or something. Like fucking who cares?
Yeah. All right, let's do this backroads read, and we'll come back with Packers Eagles.
Today's episode is brought to you by the premier clothing brand choice for any outdoor enthusiast, Backroads Apparel. Whether you chase the migration, live life at full draw, or just enjoy going to the camp to crack cold ones with friends and family, Backroads has a design that fits your lifestyle. Represent the brand that prides themselves on being authentic and original. Head over to backroadsapparel.com and grab your gear today. Be sure to use promo code PTB during checkout to receive 10% off of your entire order. Again, that's backroadsapparel.com, promo code PTB.
All right. Look at how simple.
So simple.
The second game, Friday night, the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I guess they don't travel to Philadelphia. The Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles travel to fucking Brazil to play a football game.
Can we just 1 second?
The Eagles are technically the home team, which is a crock of shit.
Can we just talk 1 second about how fucking stupid this is?
Go ahead.
I mean, do you agree that this is?
But we could do a whole podcast on it.
I mean, what are we doing?
Dumb as fucking rocks.
And then we're going to Brazil. They may have a guy get shot. We could have AJ Brown could get kidnapped. Like, what are we doing? Why?
Yeah.
People in Brazil don't give a fuck about the NFL. They want to watch soccer. What are we doing?
They don't give a fuck.
What are we doing?
These teams literally cannot wear the color green.
What are we doing? Just fucking stop the
May as well
internet.
go fucking play a game in Ukraine.
I don't want to see these motherfuckers play in Brazil. I don't want to see them play in Mexico. I don't want to see them play in London. Like, just stop with the shit. What are we doing? And put a franchise in London? I may quit. That may make me quit the NFL if that happens. I may quit the NFL if they put a franchise in London. Just, what are we doing? This is an American sport.
It is.
Americans watch it, and that's it.
Listen, I get you're trying to expand the game and make more money. When you're making like $8 billion, do you really need an extra $700,000? Like, what are we doing?
What are we doing? I don't know.
The travel logistically is fucking bullshit. The safety is fucking bullshit. Stop playing in these third world fucking countries.
Yeah.
Not that Philadelphia is much better than Brazil.
They told them they can't even leave the hotel. Like, don't leave the hotel.
What are we doing? Are we even doing?
What are we doing?
And you want to know the worst part? Stop fucking scheduling these games on Fridays.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's just...
You're ruining football Sunday. You're ruining football Sunday.
What are we doing?
We have games every fucking day of the week.
What are we doing?
I'm fucking sick of it. I'm sick of it.
I am too. Like, even the Thursday game gets a little tiresome because it's so fucking bad. And I used to be...
It's the worst fucking product that there is.
Yeah. I used to be a big proponent of more games on more days better, but now I'm just like, the Thursday game, it's so fucking bad.
Dude,
everybody knows it's bad.
I figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible.
Here's the solution. It's very, very simple. Everybody plays on Sunday. You keep the Monday night game. Instead of Thursday, you add a second Monday night game. And Thursday should be a marquee college matchup. You could they have more bye weeks. You could schedule a bye week after. Everybody gets another break or a bye week before, however you want to do it. I'm not saying it should be, LSU Bama on Thursday, but give me, Virginia Tech. Give me like a game, like something that people will fucking watch.
I'm fine with it.
We don't need Maction on Tuesday all the time.
I don't need NFL Thursday. It's so bad. And I mean, you can look at the analytics or stats. Everybody knows that the game is pitiful. It is a pitiful. You're going to see these guys at probably 50%. And everybody knows it.
Yeah, the only one I'm fine with is week 1. I'm fine with week 1. You know,
well, I don't like
start.
I don't like the Friday game week 1 though.
Yeah, fucking stupid.
Yeah,
pointless in fucking Brazil. The London games at 9 a.m. Fuck you, NFL.
That ought to be a federal crime. It ought to be a federal crime.
I mean,
to put an NFL game on at 9 a.m. and I don't care what fucking day it is. It ought to be a federal.
Imagine
crime.
being on the West Coast. You got to fucking wake up at 6 a.m. after a Saturday night. That's fucking bullshit.
2028, I'm running for president, and my platform is no fucking 9 a.m. games, no international games, and a holiday after the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'll probably win.
I mean, you'd probably get more votes than you should.
Win. I think
let's reel it back in.
On to the game. These are two of, in my opinion, the best offenses in the NFL. Certainly 2 top 10 offenses. Both bringing in new defensive coordinators, Vic Fangio and fucking Philly, and Josh Foley or Holly or whatever the fuck his name is in Green Bay. Read about him, super aggressive. What's his name?
Jeff Hafley?
Jeff Halley. Yeah, I knew Josh Foley, Holly, Fally, Wally, whatever his name is. Read about him. He's super aggressive, plays a lot of press coverage, a lot of cover 1. That's not going to work against A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith with Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and the boys. 48.5, smash the over. It's my favorite bet of the week.
Yep.
I think they score 150 points in this game. It's going to be a track meet. The only cause of concern I have is this Brazil shit. Because you go to these third world countries and the grass may be just falling fucking apart and the lights are falling out the sky and the stadium bleachers are collapsing. So I don't know. If we're playing on good conditions in a good field, they're going to score 65 points.
I agree wholeheartedly. The 48.5 only scares me because I just don't know the conditions of fucking Brazil. I don't know how it's going to be in fucking Brazil.
You get there and the grass could be this tall. We don't know.
I have no clue. But I agree. This is actually my NFC Championship preview. I think all the shit talking that the Eagles received, and rightfully so, for how they ended the season. I think they come out guns fucking blazing.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Kellen Moore he's got some tricks up his sleeve. He's going to show week 1 what he can do with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I love it. I'd like the over more than I like the Eagles, but I think the Eagles cover easily.
I read the game schematically, and I read the Eagles are going to be going more up-tempo, more no-huddle. You know, Kellen Moore called the plays. The weakness of and you could probably know better than I do, but the weakness of that defense for the Eagles is probably the secondary. You're starting a couple of rookies, I believe, or you got some rookies you just brought in.
Yeah.
The Packers tight ends are hurt, banged up. Not that they're not going to play, but they are banged up. The Packers going to trot out 4 wide receivers, and that's going to stress that secondary to the core. I mean, I'm betting every over Jordan Love yards, over Hurts yards, over points, over this, over that. First half, over first quarter, over. I want overs everywhere. It'd be raining overs. And I would be even more confident if I knew about the field.
With all of this being said, because I agree, the depth of the Packers wide receivers is going to stress out these rookies. I mean, it's their first game. I love what they did in the offseason, drafting Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in the first 2 rounds, but it's their first game. Like, I will like them way more in week 9 than I will in week 1.
Yeah.
I love the over. I think 48.5 is close.
This would be just a great. Just got home from Sunday church. Got the pot roast in the pot. Turn on Packers, Eagles. But you got to watch it on Friday.
4:25 p.m.
Friday at 7 in fucking Brazil. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Yeah, and what is it? Probably it's on like Amazon or something. I'm sure. Like, what channel is it? Let's see what channel it's on.
I don't know. I know the first game's on.
Well, this Peacock.
This is the Peacock game. This is the Peacock game. Yeah, I'm sure we said this. I don't know if it was just offline or whatever. It's like if you want to watch every NFL football game this year, it's like $800.
It's like $800. Yeah.
And you know what? If it was $1,500, we'd still fucking pay and watch it. So we are the problem.
Why? Yeah, true. I mean, fair enough. I don't, yeah, fair enough.
But when is enough?
I don't know. How much money can you make?
I have a one. Well, if you ask the NFL, they can. It's never enough.
I suppose not.
If I told you, and this is a long shot, but I was just looking up some defensive player of the year statistics or betting odds.
Okay.
Jalen Carter at 75-1.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate it.
I mean,
certainly a very heralded draft pick out of the University of Georgia.
75-1 that's a lot, man.
Well, especially considering the only reason you guys got him was because of the pre-draft incident. But I mean, we said last year that's probably the best pick in the draft.
Yeah, I don't just a thought for people that like to gamble. I don't but some people do.
Are you still sticking with Jordan Love for MVP?
Yeah, I love him.
You didn't get to that last part. You know, I'm gonna have.
Yeah, we did.
You do know I'm gonna screen record you, so you know.
Oh, buddy, there's gonna be a couple of screen recordings here, so you better watch out with what you do. I think you're gonna lose that battle.
Look, I said the man come down my throat. I meant up the center pipe, up the pipe of the center.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
You had Love MVP.
Jordan Love. Yeah, offensive player of the year, I took Garrett Wilson. Okay. Defensive player of the year, I did Micah Parsons. It's time, dude. I know he's the favorite. He's been the favorite. It's time.
Okay.
And I didn't do rookie of the year. I had Marvin Harrison.
I mean, that seems like him or Malik's probably like a lock.
Well, not with Caleb and Jaden.
Oh, sure. I didn't think about that. I thought they had a rookie offensive
player. They're not going to win MVP.
Okay. You know who I like for MVP? You're gonna hate this, by the way. And it goes against with my Super Bowl pick with the Packers, because if you go by that, well, then I should pick Jordan Love. By the way, if you win the MVP in the NFL, you're a quarterback. You're a quarterback. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And your team's got the first round bye. You're the 1 seed in the AFC or the NFC. It's been like that for 14 of the last 15 years. So if you think the Packers are going to make the Super Bowl, Jordan Love, probably a good pick.
Can I stop you for a second?
Sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought you said that you picked the Packers. I was just going to correct you and say you took the Lions.
I had the Lions. So I will take Jared Goff at 25-1, or he may be 20-1 now.
Don't hate it.
Give me Goff. They're going to throw it all over the yard like they always do. And I think they're the best team in the NFC. So, honestly, it seems a little silly, but if you do have to worry about the Chiefs and Mahomes, because Mahomes could win the MVP every year. But if you did like the Lions to make the Super Bowl, you should definitely bet Goff to win the MVP, because if they become the 1 seed in the NFC, it is very likely. It is certain that his MVP odds will be much shorter by that time comes. So he's 20-5-1 now. He may be 2-1. He may be the favorite. I don't know. So if you're like me, you're riding with the
yes. They go hand in hand.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's 14 of the last. It's some crazy number. I'd have to look it up. Probably wouldn't be too hard. 14 of the last 15 years.
Yeah. Well, we did this last year.
This last year, correct. So
it's a little different now because there's only one bye instead of two.
Yes. But I believe I
think that will change the stats.
Do what now?
Yeah.
Lamar won.
That's going to change some of the stats. Yeah.
It held serve last year, though. So, yeah, that's where I stand on that. I think offensive player of the year going to be Bijan Robinson. I think the Falcons are going to force feed him. Begs the question, why didn't they do it last year? I have no fucking idea. They forced Algier down our throat. So I think as long as Bijan stays healthy, he's in for a Christian McCaffrey workload. And for defensive player of the year, I like Parsons. I think Parsons, like you said, just feels like it's time, right? I mean, it just feels like it's time. So I don't know. Maybe he reaches 20 sacks. I don't know what the number is there, but that seems like a pretty good bet.
Yep. No, I mean, he's the favorite, so
that's fine. Whatever.
We're not going out on a limb here, but
I'm not going to sit here and act like I know.
Dude, if it's Myles Garrett or TJ Watt,
right, it's going to be one of the guys, one of the boys. But yeah, I'm very high on Bijan this year. From the things I've been reading, he did what he did last year with fucking Algiers, probably getting 40% of the snaps. I mean, I don't know what the exact number was, but it was quite a bit. Arthur Smith's a moron, so there you go.
You won't hear an argument from me about that.
Yeah.
And listen, if you're going to draft a running back in the top 10, you better ride him till he dies.
Yeah, like what? What are we doing? I even questioned the Lions a little bit, but David Montgomery's been a pretty good back, so it's hard to really get on him for not, going full throttle with Gibbs. I actually kind of like what the Lions did.
Well, and also,
what's that?
Bijan's built a little differently than Jahmyr Gibbs. Bijan's built different than Jahmyr.
Right. And I think Gibbs is still getting 14, 16 touches a game. That seems appropriate. I didn't love the pick. Still don't love the pick. I mean, if you're going to bring Montgomery in, Montgomery's good. Like, he's a good player. So, but Gibbs is a home run threat. Let me just say that I don't so much mind the high pick on the running back when it's a, all-purpose back, a guy that can catch 70, 80 balls. That's completely different than drafting Trent Richardson at the 1-3 or whatever the fuck it was. Like, those are Leonard Fournette at the 1-4.
Yeah.
Totally different thing. So, like, I'd say I didn't love the Gibbs pick, but looking back, I mean, I guess it really wasn't that bad. He's going to catch 60, 70 balls a year. I mean, that's pretty fucking good. That's like a fucking wide receiver too. So you basically get one guy for two positions kind of deal. So I guess I don't hate as much as I thought I did.
No, and I don't know. I'm fine with Detroit doing it. I told you last year I would have been fine with the Eagles taking Bijan.
Yeah.
When you're a good team and you don't need something, like the Giants taking Barkley second makes zero sense. I don't care. I would have rather than whiffed on Sam Darnold and take a shot at a quarterback than take the running back. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Certainly. I mean, you got to be excited about Barkley with the Eagles this year, huh?
Yeah. I mean, does that make the team better this year? 100%.
Right.
Did they pay him more money than they probably should have? Yeah. Could they have been just as good with DeAndre Swift? Probably, but losing Kelsey, I don't know how those 1-yard runs are going to be anymore. I feel a lot more confidently with Saquon Barkley getting me 1 yard than DeAndre Swift.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're good here. Nice little 39-minute podcast. Talk a little ball. Football's back.
All we got to do is commit to 30 or 40 minutes every few days. Simple. Once we get the Sunday games going, Saturday, we get a good schedule, like maybe like a Tuesday college or Thursday pro or something like that. Like Tuesday, come back, break down the games. Preview Sunday. We don't have to do every game. Just pick a few games, and then Thursday, look at Saturday board. Obviously, in college, we can't talk about every game. So,
no, I wouldn't even know what to say. I can't preview the Kennesaw State Temple game.
Studs. Not bet on words.
That will do it for this episode. And go Birds.
Okay.